On the seventh day, God created street rotting.
So here I am getting my car ready to go down and attend the last Andy's picnic. And in doing so, I am thinking about what street rotting has meant to me over the years. A large part of my memories has always included Andy's picnic. Andy's has had a 30-year history of colorful rods, fun, and music, but most of all, it's the people. They travel from all over the country to gather for one day and enjoy a love affair with the American hot rod.
The two people responsible for this extravaganza are Andy and Sue Brizio. This couple has been the catalyst bringing hot rodders together for years. This is one of the best examples of a grassroots idea that snowballed into an entity with a life of its own. And you know, it's hard to imagine anything gaining such popularity unless you were there. And like many of you, I was.
Everybody has their own story to tell about how they got their first rod. And my story started back when I was just about 18 years old, just out of high school. I traded my, it was 1961, I traded my near new 56 Chevy for this 34 Victoria. And here we are 35 years later, and I still have the same car. Only now, it's finished. Or are they ever really finished? So with a 30-year history of hot rodding, Andy's is a story that I feel needs to be told. So here we go. Off to Andy's.
So what is it about these hot rods? Well, I think it's a different way to express yourself and your own taste. It started right here in the good old USA, and this passion is 100% American. With styles and ideas that differ from one coast to the other, it's always very cool to see just how innovative street rodders can be when it comes to customizing their cars. It's easy to see why there's so much pride in owning and driving one of these works of art. But let's not forget all that power under the hood. Care to pop the hood and let us look what's underneath there? Flathead, right?
No
Bob, no flathead. Come on.
350 Chevy.
350. So what do you think you have invested in chrome in this little puppy?
Too much.
Too much?
It's a 32 three-window coupe highboy.
Uh-huh.
It's got a 350 two-port injected motor. It's all been polished and deburred and color matched. It's got Griffin aluminum radiator. The whole unit was painted by Hayes Brothers in Sacramento.
Yeah, 47 Plymouth Coupe, Chevy 327 in it, punched out 375 horse, all Chevy underneath.
That's it. An inline six. Oh, wait. Wait, this isn't an inline six, Jeff. Oh, man. So now I think it's time for us to meet Andy and Sue Brizio, the founders of Andy's Picnic. So how did this all get started? How did you two meet early on?
Well, it started at Half Moon Bay Drag Strip. Whoa.
Champion Auto Parts.
And I used to be a starter down there. And when we met, we both worked down there. She used to sell decals and t-shirts. And that's how, and then we got involved in the hot rod part of it.
So Sue, what about before you met Andy? Were you involved in hot rodding?
No, I was just out of high school. I was about 19 when I met him. And I used to go with my girlfriend down to Champion Auto Parts. Her boyfriend had the machine shop. And we'd go down there, and he was very much involved in the drag racing end of it. And so were all the guys that worked at Champion. And I just happened to see him, and I guess he asked about me, and somebody fixed us up. And from then on, it was all the time.
Go forward.
5 kids, and here I am. I was about 19, he was 28. And here we are.
The first picnic was at Crow Canyon.
The first one was, we just had a group of, we were in a car club called the Early Wheels. And there was maybe about 20 or 30 cars. And we met at Ott's Drive-In down in San Francisco, down in North Beach area. And went on a cruise. Nobody knew where they were going. We loaded the station wagon up with hot dogs and buns and potato salad, and went on a mystery cruise up to Morton's Hot Springs up in Calistoga, I believe it was, up around there. And had about maybe 30 cars. So we thought, well, this was fun. Let's do it again next year. So let's meet at Ott's again. And we did, and we went to up in Napa. During the year, we would go looking for a place to go to, because we thought, well, this is fun. We'll do a mystery run every year. Well, at Ott's Drive-In, we had about 50 cars show up, you know, because people just heard about it and would come along.
It was all kind of word of mouth.
Yeah. I mean, nobody
knew anything
it
about
was just the club and the people we knew. And so we went up to Crazy Horse, I think it was called Crazy Horse Ranch up on top of Napa, top of Silverado, past there. And we cooked all the hot dogs and the beans and stuff, and everybody helped. And the next year, I think what we did was we figured, well, we got too many cars. This is getting to be too much of a run. You know, there's too many cars on the road and people don't know where they're going. We're going to lose people. So we decided, my brother lived over here in Concord, and so I came over here, and we kind of put flyers out and let people know that there would be 2 meeting places. One in Concord at Sun Valley, and one in San Mateo at Hillsdale Shopping Center.
And this was the 3rd year?
This is the 3rd year. And we ended up at Turtle Creek Ranch up on top of Mount Diablo.
So by the 3rd year, Andy's Picnic began to gain popularity with the local street rodders. Driven solely by word of mouth, no one knew at that time that Andy's would continue for the next 27 years. You can get the feeling from this early footage that many car enthusiasts included their families in this event. But the main reason these street rodders came together was to display their cars with pride and to check out how others in their peer group were building and making changes in their machines. Each year you would see differences in the cars. Some of these changes were trends, while others were just good engineering ideas.
It was the 3rd year, and we had probably about 80 to almost 100 cars show up at Turtle Rock Ranch. So then we thought, okay, where are we going to go now, you know? So then we started looking around, and I ran into Crow Canyon Park. And so we looked into reserving that and renting the whole park. And it's a type of place where you rent sections, you know, and they rent out to different group deals. But we rented the whole place, and we did it there for like the next 12 years. And it just outgrew itself, because they weren't really set up to handle that many people. We were up to about, we were serving 750 pounds of potato salad I was buying and taking over, and about 3,000, 4,000 hot dogs.
And we went through 10,000 cups of beer at the last one.
Yeah.
So your first year in Crow Canyon, how many cars did you have?
Probably 150 to 200.
And then
That's when we started really opening it up and advertising it,
And
and
by your 12th year, you were up to
500, 600. I don't even know anymore. The first year in Vallejo was 1978.
Well, you got your deuces and you got your sleds. A whole lot of chrome goes right to your head. The rod slam down is a beautiful sight. 'Cause if it ain't sitting low, well, it ain't sitting right. You can spend your weekend watching TV, but my buddies and me are gonna be at Andy's. At Andy's. Something about having cars and no blood. Being racing or wrenching while you can't get enough. You spend all day up under the hood. So when you turn that key, you'll be the sounds good. You can see all the people that you want to see when you spend your weekend at Andy's. At Andy's. Yeah, it started some 30 years ago. With old Scott's Park with Sue and Andy Brizio. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ow, 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 ow. Well, you get a car and you chop the top. You channel the body or you leave it stock. You add a little primer, candy or pearl. Some badass flames are out of this world. Well, you can bet that the Bay Area boys are gonna be driving their cars on down to Andy's. To Andy's.
The success of the picnic inspired Andy and Sue to start their own t-shirt business in 1980. The t-shirts have always been a must-have item. The car of the year, the colors, the quality of the shirts, and the feeling you'd have sporting your new Andy's t-shirt was all part of the Andy's experience. There is a certain camaraderie that you feel when you see someone in an Andy's t-shirt, more so than with other street riding events. When did you start your t-shirt business?
80.
In Crow Canyon. No, it was in Crow.
Yeah, but we started ours in.
Oh, our t-shirt business,
Yeah.
yeah, the business itself, but we were selling t-shirts at the picnic at Crow Canyon, but I don't really remember how far
Yeah,
back.
they were just two color t-shirts.
So we've gotten up to coming to Sonoma County Fair Grounds, and you started that in what year?
78 was the first year there.
And do you recall how many cars you were drawing?
Oh, probably was 500 or 600, probably. It fluctuated from 600 to 900 to 1,200, you know. I think 1,200 was our 25th year. But we were always in the 700, 800, 900 in that area. It kind of stayed because it's pretty much the same people.
What's the biggest turnout you've ever had?
Oh, we had about 1550. I think we were almost to 1,600.
What was the cost to get into the picnic in '66?
I don't know. $5, I think it
$5 or
was.
$6,
And that
probably.
included all your food.
And that kind of stayed the same.
Yeah, at Crow Canyon, yeah.
Yeah.
We sort of kept it the same. I
It
don't
was
know
always
if we ever-
$5 at Crow Canyon.
Yeah,
And when we moved to Solano, it went to $10.
yeah.
And you provided the food,
All the way
At Crow
up until
Canyon, yeah.
Solano, yeah.
but not the beer.
No. Well, the beer too we supplied.
Yeah,
Was that
yeah,
right?
We
we
supplied
did.
everything.
People drive a long ways to attend Andy's picnic. What's the farthest somebody has come from?
New York, Kentucky, Pennsylvania.
Some of the people I talked to that came, like one guy this year came from New York. He got the.
Yeah,
I think
he got the long distance.
He drove it, folks. He left 3 years ago to get here, right? What's your name and where you from?
My name's Dave Cacamo. I'm from New Paltz, New York. Left July 18th, went to the Nationals, went to the Hot Salt, went to San Francisco, went from San Francisco to Carson City, down through Yosemite, down to Camarillo, up to San Luis Obispo, and here. And this afternoon I head back east.
Dave,
Another 3,000.
did you use any oil in all that time? That's what
No, half a quart.
half a quart? Yeah, good going. So what do we got? What kind of car we got going here?
It's a 38 Chevy. It's got a 4-inch chop. Got a 307 small block Chevy with a 350 horse cam in it. Got a 76 Camaro subframe. 700 R4 transmission and 12 bolt rear.
So let me ask you something. How much money do you have in this car?
About 17,000.
And how many years you been coming to Andy's Picnic?
I've been coming here since '87. In '87, I brought my 33 pickup out and got long distance.
Wow.
And I've been coming as a spectator ever since then.
Well, let me ask you one other thing, and that is that I'm from California, as most of these people are, and you think about hot rodding as being part of California. But what about New York? Is hot rodding big in New York?
I think we got as many cars out there as you guys got back here.
Are they as nice, though? That's the question.
Oh, we got some beauties.
All right.
We got some beauties. They're different. Things
Yeah.
Things have always been different on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, this guy is not from California. Okay.
Well, you don't see it, so I don't bother
That's
cleaning
right,
it.
man. I understand.
Yeah, when I put my Corvette heads on this winter, then I'll clean it all up.
Are you going to use those same valve covers, David? Or
No,
you think
no,
you're
I
gonna go
got
with something else?
I got nice Corvette valve covers.
I think you ought to consider putting a flathead in here myself.
Nah, I think a big block would be better.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a school teacher.
All right.
That's how I can afford to take the whole summer and get out here.
Enjoy yourself.
Okay, thank
See
you.
you, David. Could you see yourself driving 3,500 miles in an open road?
Oh, yeah.
No problem?
Oh, no.
Boy, you people are...
Do it tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah. We've done it several
We're ready
times.
for it too.
Yeah.
We did it years ago in the sea cab, and we went to Gatlinburg, and him and I took off by ourselves one time. Usually we'd go with another couple or something, another car. But one year we just went by ourselves.
And let me ask you about when you're driving along in your open highboy, does it beat you to death to drive cross country?
Oh, it feels good.
Feels good sometimes. It gets cold. We've hit some snow, we've hit hailstorms, and we've hit some really bad hailstorms up in Tahoe, but they hurt when they hit.
What's your name? Where are you from?
Bob Pepper, Riverside.
Riverside?
Yeah.
Down LA?
Southern California.
Woo! How long take you to drive up here?
Oh, we drove up on Friday, a couple of roasters, and heading back now.
So let me ask you, when you drive that far in a highboy with no top, I mean, are you pretty beat up by the time you get where you're going?
No, not when you're used to it.
Not when you. How long you had your car?
About 5 years.
Oh yeah? How long have you been coming to Andy's Picnic?
Been here 3 years now.
You can spend your weekend watching TV, but my buddies and me are gonna be at Andy's.
Let me ask you something about your kids. Now, Roy is an avid hot rodder.
Yeah.
What about your other kids? What do you have? Daughters? Other sons?
All 5 doors.
They're all daughters, except
All
for
daughters?
Roy.
Oh, yeah.
Except
Where's-
for Roy.
Uh-huh.
Are the girls hot rodders also?
2 of them are. They're involved in it more. They both work for us, so they don't know anything better than cars either. So
So did Roy just start out? What was the earliest age that he had a wrench in his hand?
at the beginning, 3 or 4 years old, yeah.
And how about you, Sue? Were you out there in the garage with
Oh, I used to sit there and wait. Either sit in the car and wait or sit in the kitchen with somebody else. But I used to pick Roy up from school every day when he was living with us. He used to just go from school. He was never in sports, never wanted to do anything but go to the shop and watch the cars or watch the guys welding. So he learned his whole craft, was just being around, being there, and interested.
When he does cars for Reggie Jackson, he thought he was a football player because he didn't know anything about sports because all we ever did was work on cars.
You know, standing at the front gate, it seems like there's just an endless line of cars coming through to get into Andy's Picnic. What's your name? Where are you from?
Merle Grant from Woodland, California.
From Woodland. Earl, how long you had your car?
It's been built about 10 years.
Yeah. How long you been coming to Andy's Picnic?
About 10 years.
Mike Costa from Richmond.
Richmond. Mike,
Yeah.
is this your wife?
No, that's my girlfriend.
She's your girlfriend. Does she ever get to drive your car?
Anytime she wants.
Does she?
Yeah.
Get out, come on. All right, well, we want to see you drive.
No, not in here.
So how long have you been coming to Andy's Picnic?
About 2 years now.
And you like it?
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
How come you're not driving?
How come you're not driving? Most of the wives have been driving today.
Oh, no, I don't get to drive.
You don't get to drive?
No.
What's your name?
Chris.
Chris, what's your husband's name?
Mike.
What kind of car do you have?
36 Ford.
36 Ford.
Uh-huh.
And you never drive? Have you ever driven the car?
No.
Never. Why not? What a mean guy! I thought hot rodders were nice guys.
I know.
What is it? I bet when this guy's 16, he'll
He'll probably, he'll drive it before me probably.
Let me drive the car. Hey, what do we got going here? Family?
Yeah.
Big time family?
Yeah, we're having a good old time.
All right. What's your name? Where are you from?
Frank Verducci from Burlingame.
Yeah, Frank. How long you had your car?
We've been building it for about the last 5 years.
40 Ford.
1940, yep.
Looks nice. Has your wife ever driven the car?
She's afraid to.
She's afraid to. Oh, come on. Today's the day. Well, I bet your son's not afraid to get over there and stuff.
Oh, no, he's chomping at the bit.
He is. As soon as he does, take it to the prom, and then little brother's going to be right behind him. Hey, he can do it. I want to take it to grammar school. You know, these guys spend years and years building their cars, and this guy worked so hard on his engine, so hard on his paint, his interior, but he forgot to put headlights in here. Headlights. You need them at night. You can't drive without headlights. The cops will get you. Let me guess.
Yes, sir.
Dennis Wilson.
How'd you know that?
This guy was one of the Beach Boys.
You reader.
One of the Beach Boys.
I'm the living Beach Boy.
You know what? We looked at your car earlier, and I was looking at the outside, and I said, you know, this car is so great, but the guy forgot one thing. He forgot to put headlights in it.
No,
Yes.
those are air intakes for the blower.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Don't you have any air conditioning in here?
I want Vinny Jer.
Oh,
Vinny
man.
Jer.
Vinny Jer for this lady.
I need it.
got the cutout.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I pretend.
All we need is a blower in there.
Yeah.
A real good spot here for watching cars, huh?
Yes, we do.
How many cars have you seen come by?
Hundreds of them.
Are you getting high on exhaust yet?
Getting high on excitement.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
How have the styles in hot rods changed?
Cars have upgraded so much, it's unbelievable. People can't believe it. A lot of my friends came this year, they haven't come probably in 10 years, and they couldn't believe the difference from 10 years ago. People have spent more money in them. I don't know how they can afford them. The old timers still have the 36 Fords, the Phaetons, and the Coupes, and the 32 Roadsters, all steel, and all stock paint jobs on them, always red or black. And then the new cars today, everybody's scallops or flames or wild paint jobs.
Yeah, that was my next question. What about the paint, man? What do you think you could drop on a paint job?
I got it for nothing. It was $2,500 just for the paint, plus painting them. And to go through a car, the House of Colors gave us the paint, and it's a different color, and you have to go to something different if you want something that's different. Otherwise, they all look the same. You get a 32 Highboy, the paint's the only thing that can change it. So Hemsel's the best in flames, and I finally wanted to do one with flames, and he did it. Yeah.
Well, the Rodfather certainly is a fine-looking roadster.
It is pretty.
There it is.
I even like it too.
Well represented on your shirt there.
Yeah, belly and all.
Yeah, and I like the little gas tank on the front,
Yeah.
but Andy, it only holds 2 gallons.
I know. It was going to be my overfill for my radiator, but I wanted it. That's what I wanted. My kid was against it, and he told me I should take it off. It's ugly. Now everybody wants to put a tank in front. So I told him you'll sell a lot more tanks now.
Yeah, things here at Andy's are not all black and white as it is in life. Of course, sometimes you have gray. There's lots of colors, and colors are well represented on hot rods. And that's the thing about hot rodding is that most hot rodders express themselves and their individuality through their cars and their choice in paint. It's one of the few choices that you can really make, right? What color is this?
Called nuclear.
Nuclear pink.
Boy, it is. One of the things I really like about coming to Andy's is seeing the cars out in natural light, unlike car shows where they're in under fluorescent lights. You can really see the colors in a paint job. Look at the depth in this color and how the colors change as the angle of the sunlight changes. Of course, this has a little help. It's a two-tone. Man, we need some sunglasses.
This is one of the brightest blue paint jobs I've seen. What's your name and where are you from?
Jeff Barron from Roanert Park.
Yeah, we're having a look here at the striping job. It looks kind of like a starburst on the gas tank of Roger's car. Looks nice. Nice color. What color is that, Roger?
It's 86 Porsche red.
Porsche red. You know, I thought it was a Porsche when I first looked at it. Red. Red and red. And if you swing around behind you, you're going to see another version of red. So, what's your name? Where are you from?
Ed Thomas, Newcastle, California.
And Ed, tell us a little bit about your car here.
Well, it's a steel 32. It's been chopped 3.5 inches. And it's a filled roof. It's all Ford.
All Ford?
Even the paint is a Ford paint.
Wow, and that's kind of unusual here. Most of the Fords have got Chevys on them.
Yeah, well, there's a few of us old Ford diehards that still believe in Henry's idea, and we've just improved on it.
How long have you had your car?
About 5 years.
And how long have you been coming to Andy's Picnic?
About 5 years. And it's just something that we do. It's a good function to come to.
Yeah. Here at Andy's for a hot rodder, it's like being a boy in a candy store. There's everything. Here's a nice 47 Ford, blown with a big block in it. This belongs to Bob and Renee Senna out of Gustine, California. Nice detail on this car. I don't know if it could get much lower. Graphics on this car are real nice. And pay attention to the Ford emblem, which is tucked in there. And of course, he's got extra large wheels and a narrow rear end. You know, I don't know what it is about these guys that have Willys, but they always seem to be serious horsepower guys. They're usually the all-out kind of guy that's out there trying to, will you look at this? It's definitely not a Willys engine. Wow thing! You make my heart sing.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
We think you have too much horsepower under the hood.
No, I think it's fine.
Is this your wife?
That's my wife.
Does she ever drive the car?
It's her car.
All right.
Hey, what's your name and where are you from?
Steve Gordon from Vallejo.
Vallejo. Steve, how long have you had your car?
About 3 years.
And what kind of a car is it?
It's a 22 T-Roadster pickup.
Wow, pretty nice car. And what do you have under the hood?
302 Ford V8.
Ford and a Ford. All right.
Yes.
What a concept. Is that genuine oak that you have down there in the bed?
Yes, it is.
Nice looking. And what is this? Is this competition orange? I mean, I remember
This is bright tangerine.
Is this your car? Yeah. Okay, what's your name?
Rick Spinelli.
Where are you from, Rick?
A1 Muffler, San Mateo.
San Mateo. Hey, listen, tell us a little bit about your car. You said it's finished.
It's finished. Money's no object. I didn't spend any money.
That's right. Okay.
I had a $1,000 budget.
Okay, man, I think you did darn good for a $1,000 budget. All these other guys put 30, 40 grand into their car. Hey, later
I
on
used
that,
to work
right?
for Roy Brizio. I know the syndrome.
Yeah. Now let's take a quick look inside the Brizio home. Andy and Sue each have their own rooms filled with memorable items they have collected over the years. Andy's room has a huge collection of model cars, trucks, and dragsters, a couple of kid-sized highboys, and his walls are covered with awards and trophies for being a hot rod kind of guy. Hey, and don't forget that complete collection of Annie's Picnic mugs. How many of these mugs have you hung on to? I still have mine. In Sue's room, we find a large collection of cookie jars in the shape of old cars. Her room has a nostalgic 50s kind of feel about it, and it includes a couple of old Coca-Cola machines, a miniature Mel's Drive-In model, and an authentic Rockola jukebox filled with the hits of the 50s and 60s. In the Brizio garage, the lineup is pretty impressive. In addition to the cars, we can step back through time and visit previous Annie's Picnics by looking at the pictures on the walls. Man, if these walls could talk. Many of these cars have appeared on the Andy's Picnic t-shirts. Let me ask you a little bit about music. What year did you start having bands playing at the picnic?
Well, we were having Crow Canyon. There was a group, a friend of ours, Chuck Priolo, and he had a group called Sound Barrier. And they were sort of music like Tower of Power, Earth, Wind and Fire, Chicago. It was kind of a mix. And they would do, or Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, and they were kind of like a combination of all those. And they used to play every year at Crow Canyon. And I don't even think we paid them. They would just do it. Yeah. If anything, we paid them $200 or $300, you know. Then we started having name groups like Pacific Brass and Electric, local groups. Pacific Brass and Electric. One year we had Tower Power. One year we had the Ventures. We had Jan by himself, Jan Berry by himself one year. The second year, right following, we had Jan and Dean because they had just got back together. Up until then, Jan was performing kind of by himself with the Bel Air Bandits. And then Dean got back with him and they started doing it, so we had him come back again. And that was a good turnout because a lot of people came to see Jan and Dean. Everybody that goes there is I would say from 20s to 60s and 70s. I mean, there's people there that are really old, so there's a lot of people, and it's a good combination. People bring their grandkids, they bring their kids and their grandkids, you know. And after 30 years, that's what you're going to get, you know, so it is a family type deal. But we decided for our last one we'd have Jan and Dean.
One of the questions I asked all of the wives or ladies that were with the guys is, do you ever drive your husband's car? And about 80% said no. Why? Because I'm afraid. And how do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm not afraid. No, I'll drive it in a minute.
In a minute?
Yeah.
Do you ever take it to the store?
Not just to the store, but if there's a cruise in, or we go to Clayton or to Danville, or if there's something going on where maybe he's either not going to go or he's working or something has to be done and I take it, or when we're on a trip, he gets tired of driving, I'll drive.
You're a hardcore hot rodding woman,
Oh yeah,
right?
no, I like driving.
She drove from Texas to...
Yeah, my girlfriend and I, we drove one of Roy's cars. I forgot about that.
So is there power steering in the highboy?
No, but there's still a light,
No.
it don't matter.
Mm-hmm. And at 100 miles an hour, you hardly have to move it, right?
No, you have to move it at all then.
What is your name and where are you from?
Pat Stillwell from Stockton, California.
Stockton. And Pat, you've got a Pontiac. What year is this?
36.
36 Pontiac, and this is her car.
My car.
Her car.
My car.
And she's the first lady hot rodder that we've come across here that actually owns the car.
That's
her
right.
husband. So do you let him drive the car? Has he ever driven the car?
Oh, he always drives it. He
He
won't
does?
let me do it because I torqued the engine once and split my radiator.
Oh man, yeah, you got to watch out torquing those engines. Will do you. Well, most of the
Well, it's a
wives,
hot rod.
most of the wives
Like.
that they don't drive their husband's cars.
Oh,
This
no,
is-
I drive that to work.
This is right. You drive it every day.
Not every day, only when he leaves before I do.
Otherwise, he's got the car.
No, it stays in the garage, but
Yeah.
we drive it all the time. We never trailer it,
Yeah. What's your name and where are you from?
Jenny, I'm from Tracy.
You're from Jenny. You must have a last name.
Erskine.
Erskine.
Uh-huh.
Jenny. So how long you been coming to Andy's Picnics?
Forever.
Forever with your husband?
Yes.
I want to ask you something. Being a hot rodder's wife, have you ever helped shine the car?
Once.
One time?
Once.
And have you ever worked on the car?
No.
Have you ever driven the car?
No.
What is it about these hot rodders? Their wives never drive the car. My wife won't drive the car because she's afraid to. She says if anything, she got a scratch in it, then I'd kill her.
Exactly.
Where's your wife, Paul?
She's right here.
Okay, let's just ask the wife. So what's your name?
Debbie.
Debbie. And how is it to be a hot rodder's wife?
It's pretty cool. It's neat when you're riding in the car and everyone's noticing.
Well, what about the years beforehand, though? All the time when he's out in the garage and
What did you see of Paul?
yeah,
His rear end.
his butt.
That's
Not-
all she saw.
And a
didn't
nice
mind.
butt it is, right?
That's right.
Okay. And now when you look at the butt of this car, you see that Jaguar rear end, and you're just going, hey, no, that was okay.
It was worth
Good
it.
trade-off.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
It's fun.
Have you ever driven the
No,
car?
you kidding me?
Yeah,
No way.
this-
I'm afraid. If I get one scratch, I'm dead.
Hi, we're talking with Tony Sims. She and her husband Dennis own this 1940 Ford, and you're from where, Tony?
San Ramon.
San Ramon. So how involved were you during the building of this car?
Well, quite a bit. As a matter of fact, I held the torch when he would he'd heat the metal, and I'd hold the torch, and then he would he'd hand it to me real quick, and then he'd pound it. It was the worst job I ever had.
It was the worst job.
He's not easy to work with. either.
Okay, but now that it's done, now that it's all behind you, I mean, are those pretty pleasant memories overall? I mean,
Except for the torch, yes, absolutely, it was
Right.
wonderful.
Did you singe your eyebrows at all?
No, I burned him once or twice, and it wasn't on purpose.
Well, let me
but it was
ask
fun.
you. Let me ask you: do you ever drive the car?
No,
No. Have you ever driven the car?
no.
No. And why is that?
To be honest with you, I'm
Yes.
afraid to.
Have you ever driven the car?
Yes.
And do
Down
you,
our street and back, and that's it.
that was it. and
That's it.
Is it what keeps you from driving it more?
I just am afraid something might happen to it.
Mhm. And you don't want that to happen while you're behind the
No,
wheel, huh?
right.
Is this a family affair here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Certainly is. How long you had your car?
20 years.
What's your name?
Ron.
Ron. What's your wife's name?
Dolores.
Dolores. You ever drive the car?
Oh, sure.
All right. Did your wife ever drive the car?
All the time.
It's your car.
Got her name on
How
it.
come you're letting him drive?
He's feeling lucky today.
All right. Hi guys.
How you doing?
You gonna have a good time at Andy's?
You betcha.
Always.
What kind of car we got going here?
30 Ford
34?
Pickup.
All right. What's your names?
Harris.
Harris?
Harris. Bob and Joyce.
Does the wife ever drive?
You betcha.
All the
All
time.
right. Hi, you two.
Hiya.
What are your
Hiya.
names? Where are you from?
Doug and Joe Temple from Meadow Vista, California.
Meadow Vista.
Yeah.
Cars, what,
37.
36?
37. Yeah.
So does the wife ever drive?
Whenever she wants.
All right.
She helps pay for it. She might as well drive it.
Amen.
Besides the cars, there are lots of interesting sidelines going on at Andy's Picnic. One of the crazier events that take place are the creeper races. These guys have nerve. Their butts are only 2 inches off the ground and they have a real balancing act going on. I can't figure out what keeps these daredevils upright. There are lots of other interesting characters at the picnic. Hey, let's check out this guy.
Tell us a little bit about this rod.
Well, this is a miniature of my 31 Ford, which is over there.
Uh-huh.
And
You just throw it in the trunk to get down here?
yeah,
31 Fords don't have much trunk space, do they?
it's a pickup. It's a pickup. It has lots of trunk.
Lots of trunk space.
Yes.
Do you have a kegger back there too?
No, not a keg, but this thing, and it's my mobility enhancer.
What's your name?
Pete Silva,
Where are you from, Pete?
Walnut Creek.
How many years you been coming to Andy's Picnic?
Too many to even
Pull
count.
back and get a look at Pete's little rod here. Yeah, you got all right. Yeah. All right, there he goes.
Steve Fernandez from Dublin.
Steve, is this a high boy?
Yes, it is.
Okay, tell me what determines a high boy from a normal car.
High boy is a body that's on top of the frame with no fenders. That's basically what it is. Most modern is 32.
Okay, but would normally for a car like this, would they be down over the frame and that's what?
No, that's called channeling.
Uh-huh.
That's a channeled body. That's a body that goes over the frame to lower it. Nickname is a low boy, but it was actually a true channeling.
Right. So this is the way the cars actually came.
That's
basically, all you're doing is taking the fenders off.
That's basically what that is taking the fenders off and leaving everything original.
How long have you had your car?
I've had this since 1979.
Uh-huh.
So
how many years have you been coming to Andy's Picnic?
I made Andy's Picnic number 2, and from then on.
All right.
So,
Veteran folks, veteran here.
yeah, we did it the old Castro Valley, and and I went with a buddy with one of his instant teas.
Yeah. Is this the first car you've ever had?
No, I've had many others.
Many others.
Yeah.
It's safe to say that you've put a lot of money into a lot of cars.
A lot of cars, but that's, I'm a mechanic. And
That's part of the game.
Yeah.
What is this? This is a Vitamix with a.
We call it a margarita machine.
Uh huh.
That's all.
Does it make good margaritas? Are
certainly
these
does.
virgin margaritas?
No, they're not.
Could I have a sample?
Sure.
And are you marketing this? Are you marketing this?
No,
I
we're
see
not.
people standing in
No, we're
line
not.
here.
No, we're not.
See,
I'm talking about the mixer itself.
No, we just made that.
would you fire it up for us so we can see how this thing works? Does that got a 350 Hemi in under the hood there?
Yes, it does.
There we go. Okay, obviously you need a bigger muffler, right?
No, that's an expansion chamber.
Is it? All right. Well, that's pretty good. This is one of the most novel things we've seen down here.
Well, this isn't very new. They've had these for 20 years.
Well, I'm out of touch.
Well, I understand that.
I haven't been around.
They didn't put them out.
It makes a good margarita.
What do we got here?
Too much noise coming from under that. You guys got a 4-banger in there?
Oh yeah, 4-cylinder.
One on each side.
One on each side.
What is this? Is this Phantom?
Phaeton, 4-door convertible. We had it since we were 14 years old with my son Eddie.
Yeah, what year is this?
1936.
What's your name?
Eddie Dupree.
Eddie Dupree and son.
Eddie Dupree and son.
Son never drive?
Oh yeah, he gets crazy. He said yeah.
So you got a little cam in there? Little cam action?
Get a little bit of gas.
Sean Baldwin, and I'm from Medford, Oregon.
Okay, Sean, did you drive this car all the way from Medford?
No, we trailered it.
You did? And what is this car?
It's a 23 Fad T-Roadster Ford.
Uh-huh. It seems kind of small. Did you guys put it in the dryer and shrink it, or how'd you get it this small?
You can order bodies and stuff from someone out of Idaho.
Did you and your dad build this car?
Yeah, me, my dad, and a couple of our friends.
What kind of engine do you have in here?
It has a 5-horse electric start Brizio Stratton.
How many years have you been coming to Andy's Picnic?
This is my first year with this.
How many years have you been coming, though, with your dad?
I think this is my 3rd year, I think.
And what kind of cars your dad drive?
He has a 32 sedan, and my mom, it's a 34 Roadster.
So is it safe to say that you're going to grow up and be a hot rodder?
Yep.
All right, have fun.
Okay, thank you.
Steve Nelson from Petaluma.
Petaluma?
Yeah.
Steve, what is this?
27 Model T Speedster.
Wow. The only one here, isn't it?
It's the only one we've seen today.
Man, oh man. What determines a speedster from? I mean,
Well,
is a speedster a Ford, or is it just?
Well, yeah, it's a Ford. It's got a Model T engine in it with an overhead valve conversion on it. It's a period hot rod.
And you still have the mechanical brakes on?
It's got hydraulics on it. I changed that over.
Okay, that's the emergency
That's the emergency brake
Oh,
cable. Yes.
Is that stock the way that rear spring is wrapped like that?
No, they did that though for the dirt car, so they wouldn't get dirt in between the spring leaves. Yeah.
So how does the old car run?
Runs great. Went up Pikes Peak 3 weeks ago.
Is that right?
Yep.
4-cylinder?
Yep.
This has got a suicide front end, right? And why are they called suicide front ends?
Well, they just hang right off this plate right here.
So if something happens to that,
Yeah, kind of suicide.
it's curtains,
Yeah.
end over end.
Mary Southern from Clear Lake, California.
Mary, is one of these cars here?
This one, 31 Chevy Roadster. Not very many of them around.
No.
My husband, we've had it for 35 years.
You know, I've had my car for 35 years. That
Yeah.
made you about 18 when you got it. 15?
Bought it when I was
You must be older than me.
probably so.
Oh my God.
Took her to high school in it. I
Is
did
that right?
35 and her 33.
Just so many memories come back from going to high school in this thing that it's just a lot of fun.
Tell us about the first kiss in the car.
Yeah, the first kiss.
Oh, it was.
Is there a
it was
rumble?
memorable. Yeah.
It was fun?
Yeah.
Look what it led to. How many years you been married?
33.
All right. How many years you had your car? 35?
I went with him for his car. What can I tell you?
Hey, you know what? I hear that a lot. Okay, there it is. There it is. You saw it, folks. The kiss. One more.
Oh, gosh, I get 2 gifts today.
Oh, man. 2 in one day. All right. All right. Okay, we're sitting here talking to my old buddy Don from high school, who's got a 36 Ford and a longtime member of Andy's. And one of the things about coming down to Andy's is you come down, kick back, have a few brewskis, and break out the
the barbecue and just see a bunch of old friends.
That's right. Just sit around and enjoy the people, and the guys that you've met over the last 30 to 35 years.
Yeah.
Most of them are still coming around to these things, these events. And it's kind of fun. It's just like a family affair type thing.
So what do you think is the main difference between like Andy's Picnic and, say, Hot August Nights or some of the other places that are...
Here it seems like it's a little more close-knit family.
Yeah.
Over a bigger area like that, a lot of glitter. This is kind of a little bit closer knit.
What do we got going here? Work in progress?
Oh yeah.
It's never done.
Never done. But boy, without Brizio, they wouldn't have got this far.
Yeah, is that right?
That guy's like history of...
Is that right?
Yeah,
Well, what
like
about
Elvis is to rock and roll.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be a piece of American history?
It's a neat deal, but I've always done what I wanted to do, so I've enjoyed doing what I do.
He loved it, and when he used to take trips back east years ago when they used to write about him in the magazines, that was before anybody was ever going cross-country. And Andy and Bud Bryan took the track roadster, Volkswagen, and drove across country, and they ran out of gas because Andy was always famous for, I think I can make it to the next gas station.
Can you imagine your life without hot rods?
No. Car shows, rod runs, drag racing, it's all part of it.
So it's not going to end here. We'll still see you around, won't we?
Oh yeah, and we'll still be around, and we're still going to be at all the runs and do everything we've been doing. And we might do an Andy's reunion maybe in 5 years. Give me a little break.
We will for sure.
Here we are at the end of the day, the 30th anniversary of Andy's Picnic. You can't help but feel the loss of something very special. With the end of an era, Andy's Picnic will surely be missed. But in the meantime, let's all keep an eye out for the Rod Father, and you know that we will all meet again for the 5-year reunion in the year 2001. Andy and Sue, we want to thank you for the many years of joy you have given us all. Thanks for the ride.
Yeah, it started some 30 years ago at Old Scotts Park with Sue and Andy Brizio. Yeah, 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 yeah. Andy's the man with the smile on his face. He helped start it all back in the early days. You can see him cruising around with the tank top on, meeting friends and seeing cars is his way of having fun. You can bet that the Rod Father's gonna be having one hell of a time at Andy's. At Andy's. Hop in your car and head to Vallejo, 'cause this is the last year of his car show. And if you wanna be a part of the legend, they say, you better get a 32 and come to Tuesday. Well, you can get all the shirts from Kim and Terry when you spend your weekend at Andy's. Yeah, it started some 30 years ago at Old Scotts Park with Sue and Andy Brizio. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ow, 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 ow. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ow, 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 ow.
Hi, you want to know who I am and where I'm from? Am I having fun at Andy's? Boy, you betcha. This is the end of Andy's, and it's been great. It's been fun for everybody involved, myself included. I want to thank all involved. Myself, Wayne, my cameraman, and see you next time.